Hey there everybody, today we're going to be talking about two-way frequency tables. Now two-way frequency tables are a great way to organize data when you take a survey or something like that. In this case you can see the survey was about what sports people like to play best, and then the data is divided up by boys and girls. Now if you just wanted to present data about what sport people like best, you could put that in a table, right? But when you want to divide that data up more, in this case showing boys and girls and what sports they like to play, a two-way frequency table can be a really great way to go. Let's flip over to a different page and look at a different table. Okay, so here's a little bit of a story for you. It says, Amina loves to eat tomatoes from her garden in Salt Lake City. She asked her friend Renzo, "Don't you just love tomatoes?" Renzo crinkled his nose and replied, "Ew, tomatoes gross me out. When I see them in the grocery store, I just keep on walking." Renzo's response prompted Amina to think, "I don't buy tomatoes at the grocery store either, because I grow them in my garden. The tomatoes from my garden are delicious, whereas grocery store tomatoes look less appealing to me. I wonder if there's an association between enjoying tomatoes and having a garden at home." So what does she do? Let's see what she does next. She decides to survey 100 randomly selected Salt Lake City vegetable eating residents, and she asks each of them two questions. Number one, do you primarily obtain your vegetables at the grocery store, including food pantry, the farmer's market, or from your home garden? Assume they grow tomatoes in their home garden. Do you like tomatoes? Her results are summarized in the table below. Okay, so she's got a lot of data here. She has these columns of people who buy them at the grocery store, people who buy the tomatoes at the farmer's market, and people who grow them in their home garden. And then over here, the data is broken up by who likes tomatoes and who does not like tomatoes. All right, so this is a two-way frequency table. It's not completely filled out. We're going to fill it out in just a second. We're going to finish filling out all the rest of these boxes. So that's what it says in part A. It says fill in the frequencies for the total column and the total row in the table. So here's how these tables work. They're kind of intuitive. The columns will add up to this number down here. So let's go ahead and add these up. 50 plus 30 equals 80. All right, that's one column. Let's do the next column. 4 plus 1 equals 5. All right, and over here we're going to add these two to get this number. 12 plus 3 equals 15. Okay, so that was the rows. Now we need to add, let me try that again. Those were the columns. Now we need to get the rows in there, and the rows are going to go this way. So for likes tomatoes, we have 50 plus 4, which is 54, plus 12 is 66. And it's totally fine if you guys want to use a calculator on these, by the way. I will definitely be using one in a second. For dislike tomatoes, we have 30 plus 1 is 31, plus 3 is 34. Okay, so that was part A. Check. Now part B, check to make sure that you found the above frequencies correctly by finding the total number of people surveyed. Okay, so this is really helpful, and it's actually kind of cool. These two numbers will add up to be some number right here, and these three numbers here will add up to be the same number here. So basically you can add up this row and this column, and they should be the same number. It should be the total number of people surveyed. So 66 plus 34, that's 100. 80 plus 5 is 85, plus 15. Okay, that's 100. Looks like we did it right. Awesome. Let's keep going. How many people get their tomatoes at the farmer's market and dislike tomatoes? Okay, so let's see. Farmer's market is this column, and dislikes tomatoes is this row. So farmer's market and dislikes tomatoes, it looks like those overlap right here where the number 1 is. So just one person out of 100. So we're just going to write one person gets them at the farmer's market and dislikes tomatoes. Okay, cool. Let's go to part D. How many people get their tomatoes from a home garden and like tomatoes? All right, so here's the likes tomatoes row, and here's the home garden column. It looks like 12 is the number right there where they intersect. So 12. Part E asks us, how many people get their tomatoes from the grocery store? So grocery store, and it's asking for total people, not just likes or dislikes. They want the total number of people that get them from the grocery store. So that's going to be 80. And then finally, how many people like tomatoes? Okay, likes tomatoes, we already have that totaled up over here, 66. And then it says, Amina is not quite sure if her data suggests an association between enjoying tomatoes and having a garden. We will further investigate this relationship in the next section. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally went off the screen there. There we go. So yeah, we might talk about that more later, but not right now. If you feel good about this, you can start looking at the assignment on your own, but there are some percentage questions, and if you want a little help with those, well, stick with me. We're going to start working on this page now, and I'm just going to do most of problem number 7 with you. Number 7 is one of your assignment problems, okay? So feel free to work on that with me if you'd like to. Number 7 says, use the given information to complete the two-way frequency table about the eating habits of 595 students at Copper Ridge Middle School. Okay, we have 190 male students eat breakfast regularly out of 320 total males surveyed. Okay, 295 students do not eat breakfast regularly. Pardon me, and 165 females do not eat breakfast regularly. So we're supposed to use this to fill in the missing information. Okay, so let's start putting some pieces of the puzzle in there. It says 190 male students eat breakfast regularly. Okay, so male is here, eat breakfast regularly is here, so that 190 is going to go in this box right there. Okay, let's keep reading. Out of 320 total males surveyed. Okay, the total number of males surveyed was 320, so let's see. Males are going to total up here, so we'll put our 320 right there. Okay, that's my phone, sorry about that. It says 295 students do not eat breakfast regularly. So students who do not eat breakfast regularly, did they divide it up male, female? No, it looks like it's a total number. So we're going to go all the way over here to the total for do not eat breakfast regularly. And we're going to write 295. Okay, so we got that one. Now it says 165 females do not eat breakfast regularly. So let's see, females, here's regular breakfast eaters, here's do not eat breakfast regularly, so we want it in this box right there. Okay, so that was that one. And there's one more piece of information hiding up here too. It says the eating habits of 595 students. So it looks like a total of 595 students were surveyed. That grand total is always going to go in the corner box down here. And as you remember, these numbers will total to equal that, and these numbers will total to equal that. It should work both ways. All right, it says fill in the missing information. So although we put a lot of stuff in the table, there's still quite a few missing pieces here. And we need to approach this a little bit like a puzzle. Remember what you just learned about two-way frequency tables. These numbers will total that number. These will total that one, right? Also remember that 190 plus whatever is here is going to total that one. And this blank plus 165 will total 295. So using all that, we can just do a little bit of subtraction and find some answers. So let's start with this box right here. 190 plus what equals 320? I don't know. Let me use my calculator. I'm just going to do 320 minus 190, and we're going to get 130. Okay. Now, I can't, there's two blanks here, so there's really nothing I can do there. But what about over here in the total? Blank plus 295 equals 595, so I can subtract there and find my answer. I'll do 595 minus 295. And that's going to give me 300, and that goes right here in this blank. So 300 plus 295 equals 595. Okay, so now let's start looking across. It looks like this one's totally filled out, so we're good. But here on top, 190 plus what equals 300? Well, let's subtract and find out. 300 minus 190, and we're going to get 110. That'll go in this box right here. One last blank to fill out. You got a couple different ways you could do it. I'm going to do across, so I'll do 595 minus 320. Whoops, 320. And that's going to give me 275. Now just to double check, let's make sure that 110 plus 165 equals that. And it sure does. So it looks like we got it all right. Our table is filled out correctly. All the numbers are adding up where they're supposed to add up. So let's look at part B. How many females total were surveyed? Okay, females total. Females total 275. Okay, cool. Now, how many people surveyed eat breakfast regularly? How many people surveyed eat breakfast regularly? They want the total. They're not asking for male or female. The total there is going to be 300. Okay, what about part D? How many people total were surveyed? Well, they actually told us that up here, didn't they? But you can also find it in that corner box for the grand total of 595. Okay, what about part E? How many males surveyed do not eat breakfast regularly? Let's see, males, here's eat breakfast regularly, and this number do not eat breakfast regularly, so 130. All right, part F. How many females surveyed eat breakfast regularly? Okay, let's go to the female column. And that first row is eat breakfast regularly. So this is the data we want right here, 110. So it's just all about knowing where to look in the table and copying down that number. Part G, okay, here we get to do just a little bit of math because we're asking for percentages. It says in part G, what percentage of the total number of people surveyed eat breakfast regularly? Remember, when you're doing a percentage, you're going to want to put the number of whatever they're looking for. In this case, they're looking for the number of people that eat breakfast regularly. You're going to put that on top, and then you're going to put that total number of people surveyed on bottom. So this is top, this is bottom, and then you're going to divide. Here, I'll walk you through it. So what is the number of people who eat breakfast regularly? Okay, eat breakfast regularly, it looks like 300. I'm going to put that on top. And then on bottom, we need that total number of people surveyed, which was 595. Okay, once you have that fraction set up, you can just divide with your calculator. So I'm going to do 300. There we go. Divided by 595. Nope, that just didn't work. We try that again. Divided by 595. I'm going to get 0.504. And now I need to turn that into a percentage. So I'm going to move my dot 2 places, and I'm going to get 50%. You could put 50.4%, but I'm just going to round to the nearest whole percentage. Okay, so 50% for that one. What about part H? What percentage of the females surveyed eat breakfast regularly? Okay, so you're looking for how many of the females that are surveyed that eat breakfast regularly. So your total number, your bottom number, is going to be the number of females surveyed. Females, 275. Okay, now of those 275, so in other words, we're just looking at the females here, how many eat breakfast regularly? It's going to be 110. And then we're just going to do the math the same way, except this time I'll try to hit the right buttons. There we go. I'm going to get 0.4. 0.4. You're going to move that decimal 2 places. You got to put a 0 there, and you're going to get 40%. Okay, let's do one more percentage problem, and then I'll let you guys get to work. What percentage of the people who eat breakfast regularly are male? Okay, so of the people who eat breakfast regularly, regular eaters up here, it looks like there are 300 regular breakfast eaters. So that's going to be our bottom number. Now, of those 300 who eat breakfast regularly, how many of those are male? So of those 300, what's the breakdown? 190 male and 110 female? So we want the number of male, so put 190 on top. All right, now 190 divided by 300, and I'm going to get 0.63 repeating. And I'm just going to round to the nearest percentage point, move that decimal point 2 places, and you're going to get 63%. Okay, and oh wait, one more. I almost missed this one. What percentage of the total number of people surveyed are females who do not eat breakfast regularly? Okay, so what percentage of the total number of people surveyed? So total surveyed, and that's going to go on the bottom. In this case, the total surveyed is that 595. Okay, how many of those people are females who do not eat breakfast regularly? Females do not eat breakfast regularly, 165. And then you're just going to do the math on that, and you're going to move your decimal point. And it looks like 0.277. So I'm going to move my decimal point 2 places, and I'm going to let this 7 bump that up to an 8, and I'm going to get 28% there. Okay, now on K and L, it says make up your own problem similar to the problems in parts G through J, and have a partner answer your question. Well, if you're taking a virtual class right now, you might not have a partner with you, and so I want you to just make up a question and answer it yourself, okay? For K and for L. All right, that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, let us know. We love to hear from you, and hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.